I am in the middle of organizing my seeds and planning for the upcoming season. When it comes to peppers, I am overwintering all of my existing plants, and I have already started the seeds for some newer pepper varieties. But I realized that I never made any pepper review videos, and the seed catalogs are out. And you might be interested in some of the varieties that I've grown before, so I thought that I would just go through my seed collection of peppers and give my rapid fire opinions on all of these varieties. And then that way, if you are on the fence about one of these, it might help you make your decision.
First up is the blot pepper, and this one is pretty good. I think it's a really pretty pepper, kind of similar in shape to a bell pepper, but it's definitely sweet and a good one to stir fry. New Mex Lemon Spice. This one is good. I really like it. It's basically a yellow jalapeno, but the ones I've had aren't too spicy, and the plant was moderately productive. Hungarian hot wax is hot, very hot, and even though I can't handle super hot peppers, I still like this one for some dishes. It's also for me an early and heavy producer. Cooling things down, next we have Jalapeno. This one has the flavor of jalapenos without the heat. These are very prolific and I love them because I love jalapenos, but I can't always handle that much spice. Gatherer's Gold. I really like this one. It's an orange snacking pepper and it tastes great raw or is perfect sauteed. Purple Beauty is a nice bell pepper. I like it. It's pretty sweet in my opinion and was moderately prolific. Jamaican yellow mushroom pepper is pretty hot. This plant wasn't very productive for me, so I am debating removing it from my raised bed, especially since the plant overall seemed to struggle the past 2 years. Chodosherdo. This one is a tongue twister of a name, and I had to really research how to pronounce it when I first heard of it. It is a nice mild pepper and is fairly productive. Buena Mulata is one that I got from a seed swap from a friend. She wrote down Bueno Mulata though, but it is Buena Mulata, and these peppers are pretty prolific and can be spicy, and some of the peppers from this plant I felt kind of had a bit of smokiness to them, and I love the purple color. Corno de Toro pepper is sweet with a bit of a kick, but it wasn't super prolific, so I am considering removing this one, although I did like it. Thunder Mountain Longhorn is a fun one. I can get some pretty long peppers from this one, and they are super easy to just cut directly into a pan with some kitchen scissors, and they are moderately spicy and fairly productive. Jigsaw pepper. I'm going to be honest, I got the seeds for this one because I'm a sucker for variegated plants. This one is considered more of an ornamental pepper plant, and the peppers were mild in heat to me, and they were quite prolific, but the peppers ended up being pretty tiny, so they were kind of a pain to slice up for cooking. Habanero. I tried growing them because some family members like them, and I thought maybe I'd like them better if they were homegrown, and nope, they are way too hot for me, but honestly, I feel like habanero is just a classic pepper. You either like it or you don't. Similar to the nadapeño, the habanada is supposed to be a habanero pepper without the heat, but as it turns out, I also just don't like the flavor despite it not being hot. But if you like the flavor of habaneros but not the heat, this is one you might want to try. Cayenne orange pepper, it's pretty much just a standard issue cayenne pepper, nothing special other than it being orange, and if left on the plant long enough, they all end up being red in the end anyway. Mini bell mix, I like this one because oftentimes if I'm making lunch for myself and want to use a bell pepper, but I don't want to cut into a whole one or I don't have much other cooking planned to cut into a larger one, these are the perfect size and are pretty prolific. Chinese 5-color pepper is a fun one. It is considered more of an ornamental pepper, but I love seeing all the colors, especially when you can get all 5 colors at once on the plant. The peppers do pack a bit of heat and are very prolific. Vicino Yellow Piquillo is one that I pulled from the garden. The plant grew well and was extremely prolific, but the peppers were just so small that they were a pain to harvest and use, but they are also very spicy, so it's not something you'd want to just eat whole, raw, or cooked. Fish pepper. I like this one a lot. This is one with variegated foliage and peppers, and it can be a very hot pepper, but the flavor is nice, it's productive, and again, I love variegated plants, so it's a fun addition to the garden. Black pearl pepper, another ornamental variety. It's got neat dark leaves, but the peppers are quite small as most ornamental peppers are. I ended up pulling this one from the garden, but if I find a small container, I may choose to grow it again just for fun or maybe indoors as a houseplant because the leaves are really pretty. Datil pepper, the plant for this one for me grew really tall and wide, but the peppers just take forever to show up. Last year they showed up at the very end of the season, and this year I'm actually still waiting for them despite there being so many flowers on the plant. So even though the plant looks like it's strong and healthy, they just produce way too late for me, and I don't even really care for the flavor, so I'm going to pull this one. Shishito peppers. These are one of my favorites. They are very prolific, and blistered shishitos are the best snack or side dish. I definitely recommend these, and I suggest growing at least 3 plants because you'll get hooked on blistered shishitos, and these are not spicy peppers at all. Jimmy Nardello, I love this pepper. I like to saute them and put them in a sandwich, and they are pretty prolific. Orange Peter and Red Peter. I'm going to be honest, I just got these varieties because I wanted to grow them because I thought they would be funny, and they are. They are also extremely spicy, but I did find them to be pretty prolific as well. My friend shared some of her Sugar Rush peach seeds with me, and I have to say I really like this variety. They are spicy without being too spicy, and they have a nice fruity flavor. Lemon drop pepper. This one is definitely one of my favorites. They are pretty prolific and they do have a mild amount of heat and they do taste slightly citrusy, and overall this variety has great flavor. Violet Sparkle is one that I could take or leave. I feel like they are moderately prolific, but they are just kind of like any other sweet snacking pepper, and because I am overwintering it, I am going to keep it, but if the plant were to die or become unhealthy, I don't know if I would grow a replacement when there's so many similar tasting peppers. Black Hungarian is a nice pepper, kind of like a jalapeno. For me, they weren't too spicy, and the plant was pretty productive. And finally, we have the classic bell pepper, California Wonder. This one has always been a heavy producer for me, and they are great for making stuffed bell peppers. Sometimes you just have to go with the basics. I will in the future be making more in-depth reviews on these varieties, as well as any new varieties I grow in the upcoming seasons, so stay tuned.